Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Shokugeki no Souma, the 5th play on episode 9, or you can call it Shokugeki no Souma Go no Sara on episode 9. Now, this episode right here looks like to me we get to a lot of revelation, and another thing I would like to point out in a minor spoiler, by the way, this is one of the fans, if anything, one of the things that were revealed in this episode. If not, this is one of the fans or viewers' problems of the final arc as well, because of what's been happening, what happened in the last couple of arcs or something, or maybe the last arc, etc. I'll get to that just a moment before you guys be asking, why the heck are you confusing us right now? That kind of thing. But that aside, let's just get this started. Of course, we see Nakiri Erina defeating a lot of opponents here and there, etc. And we get to see, she tells everyone, you need to focus on your own match. You got it? And we see to it that Megumi's match starts off where she's the 10th seed against the Elite Noir Huang Zuingang. And we get to know that he's one of the menacing chefs as well. Not to mention, we get to know the Noir's cooking utensil is that of claws on his fingers, and they have 15 minutes to complete their dish. And that he is from the Huang clan technique, etc., and he's called the Claws of Black Death, And depending on who could enhance the flavors in 15 minutes will be the deciding victor. And we get to know this Noir who is facing Megumi, that he is the long line assassins in China, stretching back to the Namboku Cho period. They would use toxic components of plants, fish, and bugs in their assassination techniques, and his family influenced Chinese history from the shadows, Eventually, they would start using their vast knowledge and techniques for cooking, such as from sweet, salty, sour, umami, and bitter, And he's called the venomous dish that is the secret technique in the Huang clan that's used in the cuisine. And we get to know that each claw is dipped in salty, sour, umami, bitter, and sweet, They all have the basic 5 seasonings of each flavors, etc. And we have to it that Huang, whatever his name is, says he's gonna defeat Megumi, but unfortunately she kicked his butt by using a Chinese style lunch plate, And whatsoever. But aside from that, we get to know that everyone was trying to speak to Nakiri Erina, because something is off about her, And Souma's really upset knowing that Erina gets to face all these chefs while he's unable to do so, and he wants to talk to the bookmaster. His recklessness of doing all that gets his friends to try to stop him, and they end up seeing that Erina ends up talking to the bookmaster and says, I heard my grandfather told me you disapprove me of entering this tournament. You have no use for the god tongue like that. Is that so, mother? And we had they realized that the bookmaster is actually Erina's mother, and her name is Nakiri Mana, and she is the bookmaster, etc., And they end up exchanging a couple sour words to each other while she allows Souma and her friends to have a little small talk with her, And that we get to know that she ends up taking nutrients from an IV, etc. She also tells Takumi Aldini, hey, you're going to be facing Erina in your next match, so I want you to do whatever it takes to defeat the god tongue. She's unnecessary to me. If you want to bring your brother to help you out to defeat her, I got no problem with that. You got it? Even right now, everybody is really kind of stunned to see how she's acting towards her own daughter like that. And we get to know the information from An, the green-haired lady, that's pretty much the attendant to her most of the time. We get to know that Mana Nakiri, or Nakiri Mana, or Erina's mother, she also possesses the god's tongue, which is the reason why Erina is also the one that has the god's tongue as well. And we get to know that that something happened to her back then when she tries to eat, when her desire flavor to want to eat has been so high, anything she eats, she'll vomit right away, or she is unable to eat it, and she's been taking nutrients through an IV most of the time, And that's the reason why she left the Nakiri family, because she can't stop her selfishness or something like that. So overall, An gives him the information that this woman can't really eat regular food anymore, and that every time she tries to do that, she vomits it out the way how it's depicted. There was a lot more details that's supposed to be explained the way how I look at it compared to the manga, but they seem to cut it short to try to get to the point right away, which I can understand why, because they're trying to limit the certain number of episodes or something. Whatever their decision is, they are missing out. There is a lot of details missing out, and some reason to me, like I said, or I'm gonna say it now, things are a little bit different compared to the manga, but you know, it is what it is. You know, whatever the case may be, let's continue on. And by that time, we get to know that Asahi will be facing Megumi, the one who won first place in the blue preliminaries, you know? And we get to see that 2 matches are happening in the venue right away. Like, we see to it that, you know, it's happening in Hall A, where Erina faces Takumi Aldini, and Saiba Asahi is facing Tadokoro Megumi, you know, that kind of thing. And we get to know that Asahi and Erina exchange a couple words, and she tells him all that I'm the one that's going to win this damn tournament, so you just shut your mouth, you hear me? And we have to it that Asahi was still trying to tell her, hey, she wants my cooking, okay? Yours is unlikely to be even satisfying. And we have to it that Megumi and Asahi ends up having a little small talk with each other, and eventually, you know, Megumi decides to compete with them in a Shokugeki. Like, if I win, you leave Nakiri Erina alone and stop hurting her. You got it? And he goes like, sure, no problem. But if I win, you stop being a supporter or a friend to Nakiri Erina. You got it? And that was a big risk, because honestly, that's not something like, losing a friendship is one thing, but damn, dude. Whatever the case may be, we have to that Erina Nakiri talks to Takumi Aldini and really is upset that he's not bringing his brother with him to face her head on, because if you really want to win this damn match, you would have, like, invited your brother and I wouldn't even care, you know? That kind of thing. And we have to it that, that they have their own theme, you know? Like, something involving, like, beef or something with Tadokoro Megumi, and we have to it that Takumi Aldini and Erina will be doing lamb. And we get to see that, we get to know some information from Saiba Asahi that he goes, hey, remember that guy you beat at the hot springs, you know? I have his knife right here, and his name is Noir Monarch, you know, etc. He used super expensive ingredients, you know, and I guess he was no match against you. Also, I just had this claws from the Claw of Black Death Huang Zhuang, you know? So I'm going to show you how I could use these 2 blades and put up a good show for you. You got it? And like I said, Hall A will be using lamb, while Hall B will be using some kind of low grams beef whatsoever, and they begin cooking. And we have to it that Erina and Takumi Aldini give it all they got right now, and, you know, Megumi, it looks like to me, it reminds Souma, you know, about the convenience store theme in the prelims, you know, and we have to it that, like, that the gourmet is perfect for Megumi, you know, since she knows how to do it. She learned a lot from local cuisine and home-style cuisine from around the world, and she learned a lot of techniques that can make cheap ingredients into gourmet dishes, you know? And that she can make most of this experience out of this theme whatsoever, and that she wants to keep a friendship with Nakiri Erina, knowing that she can't lose this match, you know? And by that time, you know, unfortunately, we see to it that Venomous Dish and Luxurious Dish Cross is all used by Saiba Asahi. He's going to show him how cross knives is really used, you know? And we have to it that, like, Nakiri Erina has this stern and serious look on her face where, like, it's really dangerous, you know? And we have to that Nakiri Erina ends up winning the match either way, even though Takumi Aldini tries to fight back, but he lost greatly 3-0. But unfortunately, when Erina tastes her dish, she's not happy, etc., you know? Knowing that this isn't something that could be called that's something that hasn't been tasted before. Like, it has to be created like something really new and original around this earth, you know? And she came a little to a title of the God Tongue like this, you know? And we get to know that Asahi's dish is already done, you know, a super savory meat in this fragrant, you know, the sweet fragrance of herbs and scorched straw, you know, flavors are so complex I can't help but squirm. And then, you know, the other judge says, oh, the more I chew, the rate of meat juices and umami comes pouring down on me, you know? And she's wondering, like, Rantabi's like, how can this be, you know? The umami, it's like he somehow raised the quality of the beef itself, you know? Yeah, it's the premium set of the highest quality beef, as the other judge says, and that's been delicately aged to perfection. And we have to, he says, it's all because of the claws of Black Death. When you age beef, the protein in the red meat breaks down into umami flavor components such as amino acids. These claws are laced with all kinds of secret umami components, you know. Of course, in order to raise the quality of the beef, as if it has been aged for 2 months, I need a perfect combination, and then I perfectly prepared the meat that I turned into a luxury ingredient using my cross knives, you know. And we have to it that Asi ends up explaining, you know, I think I sort of remember some dual panicking to make a rain the other day, you know. But if it were me, I would use the mezzalina even closer to perfection, honestly. I could make a dish that could far surpass that one. I wouldn't even have to waste blood, sweat, and tears on it, honestly. And we have to it that Megumi's dish comes up next, and it's amazingly delicious. It's gentle, it's filled with a lot of hospitality. She raised the flavor of this super savory beef as high as it can go, but unfortunately, Asahi's cross knife surpasses hers, and she ends up defeating her, you know, 3-0, you know. And he ends up making an announcement to the bookmaster, like, I know you're watching, so what you think of my powers? The knife combination possibilities are infinite. Have the full potential to make something you never tasted before. I'm the perfect candidate to take the top of the blue, and there's something that I want when I win. I figured I should get your permission, you know. I think you should know what I'm saying. Is that it? And we have to it that she says, you know, whoever has the potential to produce the dish I desire shall be rewarded graciously. He says, oh, yeah, thanks. And she says, I have high hopes for you, Saiba Asahi. Of course, Souma looks at him far away with those lifeless eyes saying, I'm sorry, what? And we have to it that Erina and Saiba Asahi ends up having some small talks with each other, and she says, I'm the one that's going to win this, okay? I had enough of your BS what's over here and there. He said, yeah, but this is what broke Nakri Mana, no? What she needs is a different power, otherwise you can't make the dish she desires. Didn't you hear the crowd out there? I mean, they were cheering for me. If there's anyone that objects to me, I love to meet them. You will not be the chef who becomes her savior, honestly, you know? And Erina looks like she's in total despair because it looks like he might be saying this right. But you can hear someone says, I like to object, honestly. And he ends up staring at Saiba Asahi, etc. And next episode is called Surpassing Dad. And the quote given in here says, you won't be able to make Nakri happy. So, yeah, going to what I said at the beginning of my recap before I finish here, you know, one of the issues that a lot of people have been having with not only in this arc, but I think this is also their opinion and possibly fact, depending on the situation and how you look at it. Mana Erina, you know, Mana Nakri, she apparently became one of the few issues for the other people when it came to this arc right here, because they go like, oh, it's another Nakri family problem. What the hell, man? I mean, like, I can understand where they're coming from, but for me, when I was reading it, when I was reading the manga, I would have loved to know what Nakri Erina's mother's like, even though, like, it may be stupid and a little cliche, depending on how you look, depending on how I want to know, etc. I mean, seriously, I mean, the person who gave birth to the God's Tongue, I mean, like, what is she exactly, and what is she like, and then everything all together, you know, etc. But that aside, like, that doesn't give out the few issues about, like, about the other couple of issues back in this arc, which we will talk about when we reach the final recap and my final overall thoughts on the entire series, you know. I mean, yeah. Anyways, this episode reveals a lot about Erina's mother, you know, and much more after that. The 2 matches gone by quickly. Erina defeats Takumi Aldini, and, you know, Saiba Asahi effortlessly defeats Megumi, no problem. And eventually, you know, we have to it that Saiba Asahi and Souma ends up meeting each other again, and preview next episode, they're going to be fighting each other again for another rematch, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Anyways, looking forward to the next episode. I hope they do it right. I mean, I understand why they made it so quick and fast, you know. The way how I look at it, maybe compared to the manga, it's supposed to be a little bit longer. But I guess they're trying to, like, only scoop it down to maybe 12 or 13 episodes because, I don't know, they always been doing that ever since, like, the last couple seasons. But whatever the case may be, I hope they do this match right. I mean, like, yeah. So, until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot!